Hey guys, it's Kendra. Welcome back to my channel. So everybody's in their rooms taking a nap right now. I wanted to sit down and chat with you guys about homeschool, and I wanted to talk about kind of my attitude towards it and some things that I'm very excited about, some things that I'm hoping to implement each day, and creating a rhythm for our family because our days have changed a lot over these past few weeks. It's been now a month, I think. Has it seriously already been a month? I don't know. Like at least, yeah, it must be a month. I've been reading a lot of books, following a lot of homeschool moms, and I've gotten a lot of great inspiration, a lot of ideas, and I just want to share it all with you guys. And even if you guys aren't homeschooling, don't plan on homeschooling, or if your little ones are too young for school, I do think some of these things can still apply to you. You can still utilize some of these things in your own life. So I hope you guys find a little bit of inspiration from this video, and I hope you all enjoy it. Today's video is also sponsored by Kiwico. I have been using Kiwico for the girls for years and years. Since they were just little, we got their crates and they love them. So you get a box in the mail and it has a project with everything you need except like scissors or something, but it's usually something super small. But it has directions, it has ideas on how to expand upon what they gave you, and you can kind of create like your own lesson at home essentially. So this is perfect if you guys do homeschool, or we used these before the girls were, I'm trying to think how old they were when we first got them. They're super fun for the kids. It gets them getting creative and doing something new, but also they're learning a lot through it. So right now they have these really cute Halloween boxes. So you don't even have to have a subscription to get the Halloween boxes. You can just add them to your cart in their shop and just have those for your kids and kind of test it out and see how you like Kiwico in general. And then you can always add the subscription later. But I think it's just a really fun thing to do, especially like seasonally. We do crafts every single day at our house. Andrew thinks I'm crazy, but I love crafts. Like I don't care how messy it gets in our house. If the kids are having fun and it's something that we're all involved in, I'm all for that. So I will be sharing more about Kiwico later in the video, but I will have a link down below for you guys if you want to check it out. Okay, so first I wanted to talk about how everybody's homeschool is going to look different. And I read Wild and Free. I finished it over our trip and it was so great. I'm gonna link Wild and Free for you. I'm also starting the Unhurried Homeschool, which is another one I think I'm going to love. I've been just doing a lot of research on different methods of homeschooling as far as Waldorf, Charlotte Mason, Montessori, unschooling. Like there's so many different types. Eclectic, which is pretty much what we are. But I also have been listening to the Wild and Free podcast a lot, which has been really, really good. So what I have kind of gathered from all of this is everybody's homeschool is going to look so different. And it really depends on you as the parent, like how you want to structure or unstructure your days, and also how your kids are. One of the benefits of homeschooling is the freedom it gives you. So you have the freedom to schedule your days how you want it, or have less things going on if you want to kind of take it down a notch from your traditional school day, what that looks like. If you want it to be a little bit more free-flowing, if you want it to be a little more unstructured, you can choose depending on your family and what is going to work best for you, and also just what you want out of it. Something that I'm finding very high on my priority list is really embracing childhood and the wonder that kids just innately have. And I don't want to rush them to grow up. And I think there was a time when I was kind of falling into that trap where it's like you want them to do all these things that other people are doing, and okay, now it's time for preschool, now it's time for this, and part of me felt really proud of that, like just seeing them with their backpacks and everything, like growing up. But also it's just, as we started homeschooling, I've taken a step back and kind of reflected on everything, and that will all happen eventually. One day they will be grown-ups, but right now they are kids, and I really want to slow this down and really cherish their childhood and let them enjoy it. I want them to just feel free and creative and curious about everything around them, which again, kids innately that's just how they are. I think a lot of the times it can just be stripped from them because, you know, we're so, I think it's just society in general now tries to really push kids so early on, and there's so many activities and so many things, and I get it because I feel that too sometimes. So it's almost like I have to restrain myself and understand the value of letting your kids be little. And I think a lot of the fear in that is parents think, okay, but they need to be achieving all these milestones to get to where they have to be in life. But what I've realized is that will all happen eventually. There is a small gap, a small window for kids to, you know, really enjoy learning. I don't want them to ever feel forced to do school. I want them to enjoy learning and just become lifelong learners through this process. One of the things that I am just excited about with homeschooling is doing more child-led learning. So seeing what they are interested in and just really, you know, clinging to that and going with it rather than having a strict guideline for what we're going to do today. I am going off of the girls' interests a lot. I mean, I will usually I'll go into like exactly what we're doing, but I usually have a loose idea for some things that I would like to do. But if they're not interested in that, we are not gonna do it, and I'm gonna find something else that they are going to be super excited about. The other day, June came up to me and she goes, "Mom, when are we going to start school? I thought you were gonna be our teacher." And I said, "June, we've started. We've been doing school every day." And she goes, "What?" She goes, "But in school we sit down all day long." And I said, "Well, our school's gonna look a little bit different than what you're used to, but we are always learning." And hearing that from her was one, just confirmation that this is the right thing for us and for our family. And again, I know it's not right for everybody. So if you guys aren't able to homeschool or don't want to homeschool, then that is totally fine. That's the beauty of each family. You can do what works best for you. But for me, for our family, this new path that we're taking, it just feels so right. And it's like God just has been nudging me slowly towards this, and I've almost been ignoring it and kept telling myself, okay, no, I need to be filming more videos. I need to be, you know, prioritizing YouTube. And I've realized like, no, my priority needs to be the kids right now. And that's going to have to take a back seat. So I think just stopping and listening to that has been really great for me and our family. And Owen is not going to bed right now. I hear him upstairs. So something that we are trying to do is having a morning rhythm. And a lot of homeschool moms talk about this. So it's a rhythm versus a schedule or routine. A rhythm is more, you have a general idea of things that you'd like to do without time slots. So instead of being like from 8 to 9, we do this. It's just, that's usually the first thing you do in the morning. And the reason for that is because say something happens, there's a blowout, you know, your toddler is not happy or whatever it is. If you don't miss whatever you're supposed to do in that window, then it kind of throws your whole day off. Whereas if you have just a rhythm, you just kind of push it all later. So for us and the girls, I mean, my kids are up at 6 a.m. on the dot every single day, no matter what time they go to bed. And trust me, we've tried everything. They are just early risers. So it is totally fine. I have realized what sets me up for success is waking up before them first thing in the morning, because if I wake up to them, I'm already behind, I feel like, and it just kind of puts me in like not the greatest mood. I just wake up like, oh, I have to do this, now I can't do this, I gotta get you milk and all these things, you know? So if I wake up 30 to 45 minutes before them, yes, it feels super early. I usually wake up at 5:15, but I go to bed at 9:30, so I get a lot of sleep. But it allows me some time to have some peace and quiet, come downstairs. I posted my morning routine. You guys can watch that if you want to see exactly what I'm doing. But I do a little devotional time. I'll make coffee. I'll wash my face. Just do something that kind of gets me started. So then by the time they wake up, I'm ready. I thought homeschooling, I would wait until a little bit later to start any official school stuff that we do. But the girls, when they wake up, like give them 20 minutes to kind of wake up and have a snack or whatever. But then they're kind of asking like, Mom, what are we gonna do? So I just follow their lead, and we do our school stuff pretty early in the morning. So then it kind of frees up a ton of time later on. So, and I don't want our homeschool to be like just school. Like I'm making the office into a kind of like classroom slash, not classroom, like workroom slash office. So it'll be, we can do all our crafts in there and all of that. But we are going to be doing school all throughout our house and outside and on field trips and going places. So it's not like we're just going to be in that room for our school. That's kind of just where I keep all the stuff, and you know, we'll utilize that. But I don't want our homeschool to be like structured like a typical school would be. I want them to be learning through living their life. I mean, keep in mind, we've been doing this for literally a month, but what I'm trying to do is the night before, and they also are just in TK, like pre-K. So that's why this time for homeschooling them is super fun for me. It's like you get to do the most fun things. We get to learn about flowers and seasons and nature and bugs. Like everything is so exciting for them. So I've just been totally loving it. So the night before, I will set our dining table up kind of organized with, I have these little booklets. I linked everything on my homeschool tab on my blog if you guys want to check that out. But we do little like, I have tracing letters. I have, you know, what the day of the week is, what the month is. I set those out for the girls with a little dry erase marker and some type of little toy, like manipulatives they can play with if they want to, and color pencils usually, because a lot of time they want to color in the morning. And then I will get a stack of books for myself. So I'll get our storybook Bible. I will get like a book of poetry or a few picture books, and I'll place those by my seat. So when we wake up and they're kind of ready to sit down, they'll bring their breakfast or their smoothie or whatever, and I will start reading to them. So while I read to them, they are either coloring, they're tracing, or they're playing with something, but we're all together. Even Owen likes to sit with us. I like this time to just be a time where I can just, you know, read stories to them, like give them a story from the Bible, and we can talk, and we can just foster this sense of family first thing in the morning. It makes the day feel really meaningful. And I also am doing this now because I want this to be what we do in the future. Like I can see us doing this when the kids are in 6th grade, where they know it's morning time. And I don't really know what I want to call it yet. I know some people call it morning basket. Some people call it, what do they call it? Morning stuff. But I want them to know that, okay, when we wake up, we sit around the table as a family, we do our devotional, we read from the Bible, we read from fun stories, we sing, and we do all this stuff together, and it kind of gets us like ready and wakes us up for the day. So typically after we do that, I let them go play outside. So that's another thing I'm really trying to do a lot, is to get them outside a lot, like as often as we possibly can. I want them to get outside and play and be creative. If they are not really wanting to go outside, I will go with them and we'll like look at stuff, and soon enough they'll be kind of in their own world doing whatever. But sometimes I do have to go with them to kind of get the juices flowing. And a lot of the time I'll bring my coffee out there and we'll just sit, and they'll ask questions about stuff, about the birds, about plants or worms, whatever it is. I try to find opportunities to like show new things to them. And a lot of the times we use whatever they're interested in as kind of a source of like our subject matter for later in the day. So the other day, I don't know why, I got this little book on eggs, and June found it and she really wanted to read it. So we read that. And so after that, they were, you know, really curious about eggs and chickens. So I made just up some craft about making an egg, and we colored it and ripped out paper, and we made this whole thing about eggs. And then we found a YouTube video on chickens hatching, and we kind of just made it this little unit study on eggs and chickens. So that's what we've been doing a lot of the time. And this month we've been doing a lot of fall stuff. So a lot of apples and leaves. I drew leaves for them, and they used dot stickers to trace around the leaves. And we talked about what we're excited about for fall. So it's very like organic stuff that we're talking about, but they are learning through all of this, and it's just really opening their eyes to so many new things. And then after we're done playing outside, sometimes we'll go on a walk. It'll be like a morning walk. So I might try to make that into our routine too. We tend to bring like a little basket and we can bring stuff home with us. If we find like little seeds or whatever, we'll use that as something to dig deeper and learn more about that. So once we get back inside, typically that is when I will pull out something that I want them to do as far as like letters in particular. We're learning about vowels right now. I know at this age, it's super loose with, I know some people like don't really push phonics and all that stuff until later. I'm doing a little bit here and there just because me personally, I have to kind of check things off my box. So I do have curriculum for language arts and I do have like a little kindergarten math booklet thing for them, but they really like the math book. We'll do a few pages and I'll be like, okay, that's good. And they'll be like, oh, I want to do more. So we'll just keep going. But the math stuff's really fun. The language arts stuff I don't love it. It's the good and the beautiful. It's just kind of boring for them. And when I see them get bored, we usually just quit that and I'll do something else. I'll make something else up. Like I'll go in to our office and I'll start drawing stuff on the whiteboard and I'll be like, okay, girls, I'm gonna draw a letter. One of you tell me the sound and one of you tell me something that starts with this letter. And I'll just kind of make stuff up like that. Okay, we are in battery number 2. But I did go to college to become a teacher. YouTube kind of took over, but that was my goal. So I think I just have that teaching thing in me where I'm always looking to find things to teach the girls. Like before we were even homeschooling, I was just always trying to figure out like, okay, we got to get you to learn. So in the office, again, like I'll just make up stuff as we go and I will make it a math lesson. So we have like these little magnetic pennies. And so we'll do different things with quarters and pennies and dimes. We'll learn about money. And then I'll take out our little teddy bear manipulatives we have and I'll go, okay, if you have 2 and I give you 1 more, how many do you have? And they'll be like 3. And I'll be like, this is math. You know, I'm trying to show them through objects, through actual things, what math is and what science is. So they know like, oh, this is easy or this is not something to be afraid of, you know? So we're really trying to make it very interactive. And again, just really kind of ebb and flow with whatever we're interested in that day. Also, we have Owen with us, who is 2 and a very active child. So we have to kind of keep him entertained. If we're doing a craft, I will give him something too, like that looks like the same thing as them, but maybe a little different, but just so he feels like he's involved. And same thing with like the Kiwico boxes. I get his age appropriate box. So he has something to do and he feels a part of the group. So let me insert the Kiwico footage right here and you guys can see us doing that. But that is something that we do often as far as sitting down the table and just doing something really creative. And it takes up a lot of time and it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day. We have things to play with. We have things to talk about to show Andrew when he gets home. And it really like just opens up the door for a lot of different things. So I'm gonna insert that footage here. I'm in the office getting our stuff ready for the kids. They don't know what we're doing. I just told them we're doing something fun for Halloween, a fun project. So they are picking up in the living room and dining table. And I told them once it's all picked up, I can take out this surprise. I also like that they focus on STEAM subjects. So that is science, technology, engineering, art, mathematics. And these can be tricky things to introduce to your kids, but it's all done in a way that doesn't feel like they're necessarily sitting down for like school time. When they see the box at the door, they know it's for them and they know it's going to be something fun. But I, as a mom, know that they're really learning a lot through these tactile projects. It's just all around like an awesome thing. Also, the Halloween projects, you do not have to have a subscription to them. You can just buy them individually if you are interested in that, or you can always sign up for their subscription and that's when you're getting them recurringly. So which one do you want to do these first? Yeah. And then this is a light up haunted house. And this is a pumpkin, a puking pumpkin. Look at that, it's like lava and it comes out. girls. Look, can I see it?
Look at the two bags.
Wow.
Say, cause that was black.
The Halloween projects usually sell out, so make sure to get them quickly. I will have a link down below for you guys to check them out. So something else that I'm really trying to focus on, and this is in the Waldorf method, is to utilize the stuff that I'm doing throughout the day, utilize that as a teaching opportunity for your kids. And I don't want to make it feel like it's chores for the kids, because then I don't want them to feel like, oh, I don't want to do this as a chore. You want them to be interested in it and excited about it. So I heard somebody say this and it really struck me, and she was saying, I think it was at my Bible study group the other week, 4-year-olds, I mean, all they want to do is help their mom, right? They just want to be in the kitchen with her and they just want to be helping her do stuff. And yes, it takes more time if your kid helps you, right? It's more messy, it's a little frustrating, so it's much easier to do it by yourself. But if you keep saying, no, I'm gonna do it, no, this is too hard, or no, not right now, then eventually they're gonna stop asking you to help. And then when they're 12 and you say, hey, come help me in the kitchen, they're not interested at all. So while your kids are young and curious and wanting to help you and be with you, you need to take advantage of that and let them know that yes, you are always welcome to help mom in the kitchen. You're always welcome to help me water the plants. And those are all opportunities for them to learn new things. So before, in the past, I would, water the plants on my own and bake my cookies on my own, or whatever it is, do laundry. Now, everything that I do around the house, I ask June or Violet. I can probably start asking Owen soon now too, but I ask them, I don't say come help me, I just say like, hey, come here, let's do this together. And usually they already want to, but now they're loving being in the kitchen and helping me out make stuff. We bake all the time now, it's super fun. The other day I wanted them to learn how to do the laundry, so I told June, I was like, June, you just have to phrase it right, because if you say, hey, let's go do laundry together, they're gonna be like, what? No. But I said, June, I'll let you pour the laundry detergent in today, do you want to? And she was like, yes. So I brought her in and I brought a little stool for her and I let her do things. It's hard for me to give control and I want to pour it all myself or whatever, but she did it and she thought it was so awesome. And the next time we were putting more laundry in, I had Violet do it, and I heard June, she's like, I know how to do it, and she was telling Violet how she does it. But little things like that, I think we overlook as moms a lot of the time, and we're just trying to get it done. But these are all real life skills that your kids are going to need to learn how to do, and I think it just builds character, and also it just strengthens your relationship with your kids at the same time. So I want us, since we're gonna be home homeschooling, we're all here all together, I want this to be a functioning unit and have everybody be doing their part. I'm not gonna just be cleaning the whole house by myself while the kids are playing. We're all gonna be doing this together. Yes, we will have a ton of time for them to play and do whatever they want to do, free time and all that, but at the same time we all have responsibilities, and I want them to know that we all do this together. So and one other tip that was super good, it was in my Bible study group. One of the moms was saying that, kids want to help you out, but a lot of the times they can't because things are in a tall cabinet or things aren't at their eye level. So you just have to tailor it so that they can do it. So for dishes, she was like, your kids can put away their dishes if they're plastic, but you need to put the kids' stuff in a lower cabinet so they can access it. So yesterday I took all of their plates, all of their bowls, all of their cups, and put them down below, and I ordered a few more plates so they each have their own color now. So Violet has purple, June has pink, Owen has blue, and they each have their cups, their bowls, and everything in their color. So now if something's out, I know, okay, this is June's cup. June, you gotta go put your stuff in the sink. And if they want to grab a snack, they can now go grab a bowl and I can fill it up for them. So it makes things work way better. And also at the same time, they feel independent. They can do this stuff on their own. They're helping out. Like, it's all a win in my book. Okay, one other thing I forgot to say is a lot of the homeschool moms that I've been learning from Wild and Free is they call it the act of strewing. So instead of being like, kids, I got a new book, let's read it, and then maybe they don't even care, get a couple library books, put them around the house, and then let your kids discover them, and they're gonna be like, Mom, there's new books, oh my gosh, and they're so much more excited about it. So putting little things around your house makes it more like it's their idea rather than you being like the teacher saying, we're gonna learn about this. It's almost like they're the one discovering it. As far as the reading goes, I'm trying to reach them so much. That's one of our main focuses this year, is I'm reading as much as I possibly can to them. We're doing like quick chapter books like Charlotte's Web, Little House on the Prairie, and other, they have like little fancy Nancy ones that they love, and picture books too. So just reading all types of different things to them. So something else I wanted to talk about was just like activities that we're doing outside the house. So I joined a homeschool group through our church and also just through some of my friends. We made our own little homeschool group. So I would really recommend you guys, if you are looking to homeschool, reach out to people, and you have to be, I don't know, you have to be kind of bold. So out of my comfort zone. I am a introvert at heart. And so doing homeschool now has really forced me to message other friends who are going through this too. And it's made me so much more social. It's so funny. I was telling Andrew, I was like, would you ever think that I'm doing all these things now? Like a couple years ago, even a year ago. And he's like, no, honestly, I've never seen you go on more play dates with people, go to more events. Like I joined a group at our church. Like, sorry, the air was on, so I was talking louder, but it's really kind of made me feel in my element. And I'm like, hey, all these other moms are going through the same thing. So don't be afraid, don't be intimidated to reach out to them, because they're probably feeling the same exact way. And I just feel like we're all a little scared about things, right? So you just kind of got to make the first move with things. So for one of our little co-op groups, we are doing a nature walk once a month. So everybody comes with their nature journal, and we just go on a walk and explore and do that. And it's just a way for everybody to, hang out with other kids and explore among nature. And then once a month, we're going to do some type of other thing. So we're going to paint pumpkins this month, and I'm organizing that for everybody, and read a book about fall and kind of make it seasonal. And then for our church group, they have other things that they host as well. So I just think if you don't have to do a million things, I think it can be easy to say yes to a lot of stuff all of a sudden. Like now I'm like, wow, we have a lot of functions and engagements to go to. So I do think you need to figure out, we're doing homeschool so we can slow down in life. I think a lot of moms are really craving just a simpler life these days with so much going on. Like it's just so fast paced. I think a lot of us, like deep down to our bones, we just crave a little bit more of a simpler lifestyle. At least I do, or I am. It can be easy to say yes to so many things because, again, you want your kids to be doing all these things, right? But just know that they have a limit as well. When I first mentioned homeschool, I got a lot of questions about the social aspect of it. And the funny thing is, my kids have never been more confident, more talkative, more friendly to other people in their entire lives than they have been this past month. Like I could cry about it because Andrew and I both we can't stop talking about it. It's just insane. I've told you guys how Violet and June sometimes, for the past year of them in school, before they'd go, they would freak out, they'd panic, they got like a ton of anxiety going to school all the time. And it made me stressed. It made me just kind of tense up every time we had to take them to school. And they've never shown anything like that since we took them out. Even in dance, they're fine now. They used to kind of get nervous in dance. And now they're doing dance and tennis, and they just love tennis. And they're just doing so great. When we go to the park, they run up to every kid and they're like, Mom, I made 3 new friends today. Guys, that would never have happened like a couple months ago. They just are oozing so much more confidence and joy and happiness right now. And I'm just so glad, because you just never know what's going to happen. And just to see them, it just makes me so happy. And I think another thing that's helped too is I'm with them all the time now. So before this, we had a nanny here. Well, she stopped. She was with us for a whole year, and she stopped this past July. So she would come 3 days a week, 8 to 12. And that was when I got all of my editing and everything done. And that's why I had to kind of pull back from YouTube, because I was like, well, if I'm going to be homeschooling, I want to be with them all the time, obviously. So I'm with them from when they wake up until they go to bed now, like all the time. And I think they're just very happy about that aspect of it. It was like before I was, locked in the office, and they a lot of the time wanted to talk to me and do things with me, and I couldn't. It's just kind of made us all a little bit more relaxed at home. I think maybe because I told Andrew, I was like, I feel like we do so much now all of a sudden, but everything feels more calm. And we fit so much into our days. And that was Andrew's main reason for really being totally pro homeschool, is because it frees up your days, it frees up your weeks, your months, your years. And, we were able to go on our road trip. Andrew took a few days off and they didn't miss school. And we have our days are free to do what we want to do. And we get to fill them with activities and things that we think are going to enrich their lives individually. Since the girls are twins, I now can really teach them according to their learning style. And they're very, very different. So it's funny because June will just sit down and she's ready to go, and she just does whatever I say, and she's very easy to teach. Violet, though, she'll kind of be bored and kind of roll her eyes and like get distracted and not really care. So I have to find different things that she's really interested in, and I'm not sure if a teacher at school would know them individually that way, because they look so much alike that a lot of people, even their teacher, would get them confused all the time. So it was funny in like when they were done with preschool, they got a book of all their stuff that they did, and I opened up June's and it had their names switched, and I like quickly switched them back because I saw all the pages were June's, and I'm like, that's Violet. But it's like, it's okay. They look a lot alike. And June's left-handed, so I can really help her too with things, because she gets frustrated with cutting and doing certain letters, and I can just really focus on their learning styles, what they're having a hard time with. Obviously, we're gonna have hard days as they get older, and things are gonna change, and we're gonna be, learning new things. It's not gonna all be learning about butterflies and all that. But for right now, I'm going to enjoy this time that we're in and embrace it, and just really kind of not stress myself out about doing so much all the time. I could keep talking, guys, for a really long time, but I gotta stop. I gotta clean the house because it's a little messy right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you did. If you guys homeschool or planning on homeschooling, whatever, leave me a comment on maybe some things that you plan on doing, or some things that you do that you really love or your kids really love, and things that have really worked for you guys. I would love to know that. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a like. It helps my videos out a ton. And if you want to check out Kiwico crates down below, I'll have a link there, and you can check out the Halloween boxes they have. So much fun. So I will see you guys all in my next video.